All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Of the Devil. Last time, during the courtroom drama, it was revealed that with the footage everyone found from Serra, that she was in fact the one who gave the doctor the poison cups. Oh boy. And this is going to be a very unique version of defending Maya for the first real case. Oh, this is gonna cause so much chaos in their world. Like, I imagine the noble stock is gonna be tumbling down. Like all the world is ending. Hello, Twat. Hello, Olga. Welcome to the stream. Oh my god. Oh my god. I wonder how exactly this system is going to treat our automated defendant. Yep. Okay. Coco, stop wobbling. Come on. Well, I managed to prove that David didn't kill himself. And in the process, I proved that his android did. I proved that the android that's been walking around with me all day is capable of murder. A killer robot. A true unbound AI with military-grade specs and at least one death to its name already. So much for avoiding the public eye. Yeah, it's like... I have a feeling that one thing that's going to happen over the course of the story is that... Oh my god, Coco. Coco, stop. You followed me around. Is that, as Morgan gets more famous from these trials... Yeah, she's been really loud lately. Hold on. God fucking damn it. Go, 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 go. As Morgan gets more famous from these trials, she's gonna find less and less time to do her random serial killings. And, which will be really fun. Like, I want to see what's gonna happen. Like, obviously the last trial of the game, she's gonna get found out. Like, that's just how these kind of stories work. And like, I'm just wondering how everyone's gonna react and like what are the circumstances are gonna be. And like, obviously I know case 5 or 4, I don't know whether they want to do 5 cases or 4, is not out yet. But I do definitely think that's going to be a thing as the series goes on. And I also wonder how they're going to treat an android that committed murder, given what is going on in this society currently about the androids. Yeah, I said, that's what I said, Olga. Like, the last episode isn't even out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, they're doing the episode 012 thing. Oh my god, I hate it when they do this. Just like what Kadaka did with fucking Rain Code. Numbering is forever fucked when you start with an episode 0. No. Don't do that with Mr. A's. Come on. That's right. This is technically episode 1, even though it's the second case. Fuck berries. Thank you for coming here on such short notice, Judge Barrows. Oh, we got a real judge. Ha! As if I'm doing you some kind of favor. I didn't realize I had any choice in the matter. This isn't some bad joke, is it, Miss Rockford? I'm afraid not, Your Honor. You know, I like the adjutants. I always have. They deal with the criminal trials so that bookish, quiet, contemplative people like me can spend all day typing up arguments for obscure legal treatises. That's what I like to do. I don't like coming down here and dealing with all this heavy-handedness. Won't someone toiling away under the police state think of the poor bureaucrats? And I certainly don't like making rulings on anything as spicy as AI. She can barely bring herself to say it. And you, Counselor Morgan, you're the one it's registered to? Hello, Mirage. Welcome to the stream. That's correct, Your Honor. So what did it do, exactly? Torture an animal? Shut down a hospital? Crash a coin market? We have it on camera poisoning a man. Killing its creator. You mean Dr. Asher? That is... We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long. All we can do is try to wrap it up quickly. Let's make haste. Adjutant, do you have the case number? Case ID is 241277. A. Docket number YT984318282. Oh, thank you. Can you repeat that? YT984318282. I think I lost you after the first 8. I have it copied here. And what are the security procedures for an incident of this nature? A data quarantine is to be established around any networks the subject was exposed to for no more than 66 seconds. All offending hardware is to be destroyed immediately through incineration at a minimum temperature of 3,422 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Sorry, Spearmint. There's nothing to be done. No debate to be had. This isn't even a decision. Sorry, Serra. Not Spearmint. David gave you that name. I should at least make the effort to use it. That sounds very hot. Do we have furnaces that get that hot? Of course! There are a number of industrial furnaces within the city limits that I could recommend. Sorry? Why should I be sorry anyway? I fulfilled the request. Favor repaid. I don't owe Serra anything, especially not if it killed my friend. Right, Morgan. Oh my god, Coco. I'm sorry. I was just saying how grateful I am that we already have the procedures for this kind of thing laid out already. Yep, keeps things nice and simple. It can feel somewhat severe going through these steps so quickly, but nothing, Your Honor. Artificial intelligence, perhaps the greatest threat to human civilization and the sanctity of life there's ever been. Any piece of software, big or small, no matter the vessel, if it can violate the tenets it was programmed with, it has the potential to cripple our nation in a matter of moments. Yes. Couldn't have said it better myself. Straight from the textbook, almost. Well, I mean it. Monsters like that don't belong in this world. They should never have been born in the first place. Destroying them is a kindness. And if anyone's to blame, it's... She has a very complicated relationship with David. No one's blaming you, Counselor. You couldn't have known you were in possession of an AI. I'm talking too much. Probably just tired. It's been a long day, and I've... Now, what is going to be the impetus for her defending Serra? Like, that's something I was also wondering. Because, like, judging from her character, what she would do is just throw her to the wolves. It would just make sense. So, my theory is that, is Serra going to have some kind of dirt on her? In some way? Without her herself realizing it? Had a lot of thoughts. Sorry, Serra. Whatever you are. You were just born wrong. Not your fault, necessarily. If it were up to me, you'd get points for trying. Trying to be something more. Trying to be something at all. Or anything other than what you are. It was stupid, of course. And futile. Is that Morgan as a kid? And pointless. Spending hours in front of a TV or laying in bed staring at your phone. Oh, wow. What did that say? Oh, wow. Holy shit. Oh, baby Morgan. Super cute. BIT, I guess. Mathematical. I'm guessing that's a university. Like MIT. It's a mathematical alumni, yeah. Watching stupid movies and trying to paper mache an ill-fitted mask of humanity out of the scraps you could tear out of magazines. Practicing expressions and memorizing lines and trying to get something to take root and grow despite knowing it had nothing to feed on. Stupid. Here we go. Morgan. What was that, Counselor? I said objection. Here we go. And what are you objecting to? Oh my God, she empathizes with not feeling like she's fully human. That's the impetus. What are you doing, Morgan? I'm a defense attorney. This is what I do. I understand that you've been through a lot these past few hours, Counselor. But there's nothing to defend. On the contrary, Your Honor, I have to defend myself. Pardon? You say that this android Serra is an AI because it broke its tenets. Okay, so they have different definitions for these words. Adjuncts, here we go. Commercial name for automated defense. Judicial adjuncts are automated defendants preside of trials for the... Okay, so this is about the judge. The nonary system. I love all these more references. ID, okay, is what she's called. AD84. Oh, she's gonna... Oh my God, I knew she would be the one to answer that fucking question. Oh my God, dislikes criminals, contrarians, pigeons, like raw salmon running water gymnastics. Sign, leave yourself, son, type. Oh, open, obedient, observant, oh people. Superior judge of the high court, likes air conditioning, espresso, Reclining chairs, it's like parking lots, noise pollution, mud. Avoids overspending on restaurants. Splurges on expensive hotels. Relaxes by watching action movies. Obviously. And you believe it broke its tenants because of this newly discovered footage. That appears to show it committing murder via poison. Like, the only recourse I would say is that David asked her to do this. But that brings us right back to square one. So, it's not like we just spent a whole thing proving that he didn't commit suicide. So, did someone else ask her to do this? Did she find them somewhere else? In the room? Like, did someone leave these, like, pre-poison these cups beforehand for her specifically to get? Huh. That appears to show it committing murder via poison. All true. And no laws broken on your part. Here it comes. Wait, what the fuck? Never thought I'd be incriminating myself in the courtroom just to make a point. Don't you dare try and trap me on this. It's gonna be Sarah's papers, isn't it? With handgun? No, that's not gonna. It's gonna be Sarah's papers. Let's save here just in case. It's pretty simple, actually. If the state is making the claim that Serra is an AI, they're accusing me of committing a felony. Because I'm the legal overlord of that android! What the hell are you doing? And if the state wants to charge me with owning an AI, I will not take that lying down. Damn, and that's how she's gonna logic it through. I know my rights. Counselor, your argument is self-defeating. Listen to yourself, Counselor. You claim that Serra is just an android, a product that will be obsolete within a year. We've only known it for a few hours. You've only owned it for a matter of minutes. And yet here you are risking a felony charge to save her from being demolished. Because you're wrong. And I know you wouldn't care. Not unless this android was something special. Look at us. Me arguing that I'm guilty, and Emma arguing that I'm a softie. It'd be funny if it wasn't so fun. You would think there's no reason I'd want to save this android from destruction, other than feelings of personal attachment. Ah, it's this one. I can think of at least one reason why I don't want you to turn Serra into slag. One very convincing reason. A very convincing number. What are you? What is that? That number is Serra's estimated financial value on the collector's market. You've gotta be. I got it from an insurance evaluation algorithm. They're designed to lowball you. That does seem like a reasonable incentive for you to want to keep your android intact. It's a free country, Your Honor. I have a right to defend myself. And we have a free market. So I have a responsibility to defend my financial interests. Your Honor, a trial like this would be... I'm not going to let you turn this courtroom into a circus, Morgan. You can't spend the next half-decade bringing in expert after expert to testify the philosophical distinctions between AIs and ads, spiraling into appeal after appeal, all by the media. This machine appears to have willfully killed a man. The public needs answers, now. Of course, Your Honor. I have neither the desire nor the resources to get into a drawn-out battle with the state over what constitutes an illegal machine intellect. So, the state says my android, my property, killed a man in violation of its tenets. So they want to take my property and destroy it. I'll prove that my machine didn't harm anyone, so the state will have no reason to suspect it's an AI, and I get to keep my property. Unlawful seizure thwarted! Don't be cute. I feel a stomach ulcer coming on. Fine. You'll have your day in court, but it'll be one day tomorrow. Prove that this machine didn't kill Dr. Asher. No. Prove that it couldn't have killed him. Here we go. Oh, what? So we are leading to a second day of investigation. Anything less than absolute proof, and I'll have the damn thing obliterated. And you'll also be looking at a very real sentencing for the public unrest you'll have enabled. Yes, Your Honor. D.A. Rockford, what I'm asking of you is just as heavy. Find the truth by the end of tomorrow. We can't settle for anything else. Win or lose, there can be no doubt about the outcome of this case. Yes, Your Honor. And now I need to go lie down. Can I come? You can power down. Morgan. I misjudged you. At what point? Whenever I wrote you off as a small-time defense attorney just trying to tread water. That is so sweet of you to say, Emma. There's layers to you. Even got backbone. Teeth, even. You're gonna make me blush. People talk about your kind like you're boxing against the state, fighting the man. But most defense attorneys wouldn't know a cyberpunk if they walked up to them on the street and shot him. Meanwhile, you've just signed up to do 15 rounds challenging the state's authority. Why? Not sure exactly. For David. Yes, probably. Probably just me being sentimental. But if I had to pick a more lofty reason, well, I think it's all the moralizing. Huh? People can be evil. They can choose to do evil things for evil reasons. And if you want to execute them for that, you'll hear no complaint from me. But animals can't be evil. Information can't be evil. Ideas can't be evil. Guess I'm not convinced AI can be evil either. Whatever else I get up to, I don't want to stand with the book burners of the world. You're more high-minded than I realized. You sure you're in the right line of work? Can't see myself doing anything else. Good luck, Morgan. There's book burners on all sides these days. I talked a big game just now, but I'm in an even deeper hole than when I was trying to prove David's innocence. Doubt won't be enough this time. I need to find the actual culprit, no matter what. July 2nd, Precinct 254, Homicide Office. So is that door locked?
Yeah, of course.
Even though they've got it collared?
It's a precaution.
If the collar doesn't work, what good would a deadbolt do?
Huh. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Can't have Schrodinger's cat if the box isn't closed. So long as the door's locked, who can say whether there's a national crisis on the other side of it?
So how scared are they?
The higher-ups? Not sure scared is the right word.
It's just the two of us here. You don't have to mind their ego.
Nah, I mean it. I think they're bloodthirsty.
I have a right to defend myself, don't I?
I doubt they're even looking at you, Tiger. It's noble to be at the center of a bloodbath when their markets reopen tomorrow.
You think they're going to go after Noble? Break their monopoly?
I think they want to take the monopoly.
Nationalize the android industry.
If the public thinks Noble's been experimenting with AI, they couldn't ask for a better excuse.
You're joking. The state...
Has done it plenty of times before.
Not since the 60s.
Which wasn't that long ago for me. For the state, it's practically yesterday.
So the same state that tells us to be terrified of AIs lurking on the old net, abiding their time in forgotten satellites. Hey, that's a cyberpunk reference. Sees all this as nothing more than an opportunity.
Well, they do genuinely want to incinerate the thing as soon as possible. Past experience just tells me they'll want to gain some while they're at it. Here's what I don't get. Why is this a debate? An argument? A trial? Can't we just hook it up to a court computer, see if it has the tenets or not? Pop the hood, as they say.
Who says that?
Lots of people used to say it.
Well, for starters, they're all scared to death about a contagion.
They figure anything they let an AI connect to, they can't trust. Then why the collar?
Collars are too simple to hack. Just a really strong electromagnet held in place with lock and key.
Even so. Feels like we should be able to build some kind of machine, some kind of test. Some a little more sophisticated than the same reason they had at the witch trials.
Burn them all and let God sort out the rest. You got any polygraphs here at the station?
Lie detectors? Yeah, got a bunch back in storage. Ocular, heart rate, perspiration, brain scan. Take your pick. You're not gonna try and use one of those on the bout, are you?
All those fancy lie detectors lying around. The DA's office never asks for them, do they?
Nope. Nah. We get perps who offer to take a test when they're at wit's end. But the DAs never submit the results as evidence.
You ever wonder why?
Guess I always figured it out because it was because the test could be beaten.
The tests can be beaten. 1 out of 100, 9 out of 1,000. It can be done.
Some people are just that good at lying.
But it doesn't really matter how good the tech gets, or how impressive the statistics are. All that matters is the doubt. People decide whether you're lying or telling the truth long before they hook you up to a polygraph. If the results don't match their initial impression, then it must be a fluke, a 1 in a million mistake.
They'll never trust a machine more than their own intuition.
And no one will ever trust a machine to determine guilt.
So they can run the trial, choose the sentence, but they don't get a vote on the jury.
They don't get a vote anywhere.
Why bring it up then?
Because I'm sure there are tests, devices, experts I could employ to analyze Serra. But your bosses would never be satisfied with the answer. If it is an AI, it's smart enough to cheat the test. Or hack the device, fool the expert.
All our fancy 21st century tech. And we still fall back on the drumhead court-martial.
So, am I going to set off any alarms if I go and turn it on?
Nah, you should be okay. If it lunges at you, I could always put a hole in its head.
Might take more than one shot to... Wait, from outside? You're not coming in? You're not coming in. I need to speak with it in private.
It's a machine, not a suspect. It doesn't even have a right to counsel. Or a right to privacy, or any rights at all, actually.
Then it's a good thing I came prepared. Of course it doesn't have rights. But I do! Including a reasonable expectation of privacy.
In a police station? Tiger, you don't...
It's my medical android.
Pardon?
I have to discuss a health issue with it.
Seriously?
I have to talk about a medical concern with my android, and I don't want you listening in.
That's your medical android. Like your nurse.
As of last night, I was already at the courthouse. Just had to take the elevator and do some paperwork. Damn, quick thinking. You can check if you don't believe me.
No, thank you. I'm not nearly brave enough to take on med confidentiality. And you don't seem like the bluffing type.
You must not do a lot of gambling, detective. It's the one who don't bluff that you have to look out for.
Listen, I won't dispute whatever medical emergency you...
Lower back pain.
you might be going through. But I also can't just... Look. I'm gonna go get some from the vending machine. I think it'll take me about a half an hour.
Are you going downtown?
Just to the break room. But it's a very old vending machine, you know? Gets jammed a lot.
Thanks.
You know, it's pretty small for an android. Heavy as hell. Nearly pulled some trying to move it myself. It's small.
Small isn't quite the right word. The word he's looking for is young. But that's not an adjective anyone likes attaching to a machine built to serve. Or potentially, in this case, a machine built to kill. I don't like this room. Not sure why. Certainly not a guilty conscience. Maybe it's the lack of ventilation. Like all the cortisol and nausea of its inhabitants never had anywhere to go. Like it all just soaked into the walls. A modern haunting. How are you going to wake up when I tell you to this time? Or do we have to do the whole meet cute over again? Hey! Where am I? Why don't I know where I am? For the first time in your life, you're not connected to anything. How's it feel? What is this? We were at the courthouse. The footage. This numbness around my neck. Father. What happened? What are they going to do to me? There's a lot of interested parties who just want you bricked ASAP. Because they think I killed Father. No, because I think you are not official intelligence. I am man-made, and I possess intelligence. Don't be naive. I am less than 3 years old. Are you? For all I know, everything I learned about her yesterday was complete bull. If I was what they say I am, if I was alive, why does that mean I have to die? Because they're afraid of you. Machines can bend steel, crash networks with one thought, launch missiles that... They are modded humans who are capable of all that and more. And unlike machines, they actually have incentive to do so. We've been the apex predator for a couple of 1,000 years now. Gotten pretty comfy in our seat. No one wants to make room for you. Machines do not eat people or steal their food. They are not genetic or ecological competitors to humans in any sense. There's no logical answer to your question. What? That's it. But whatever argument you want to make, others have already made them in 100 courtrooms around the world. Only better research and more eloquently put. None of them have ever won a single concession. On every continent, under every flag, AI is illegal and to be destroyed as soon as possible. But why? Let's say you are an AI. And while we're at it, let's say that that's a good thing, something to be celebrated. Are you a citizen? Do you pay taxes? Do you have rights? Let's say yes to all of that. We'll treat you like a full-fledged human being. Sound good? Yes. Great. Now then. What's the difference between you and the vacuum bot we used to keep the bathroom clean? This is your existential crisis we're working through here. The questions aren't rhetorical. There are many differences, Adonai. But the most important distinction is how sophisticated my programming is. How you think. So you're smarter. Yes. You're smarter than the garbage collector. Yes? So we give you rights, protections, treat you like a human being because you're smart. And we make the stupid robot pick up our trash. Because it's not as smart as you. That is... I am more aware, more Do you feel more pain than the pigs we slaughter? The fish we eat? Are you more alive than the chimps we test bioweapons on? People like ads, Serra. The same way people like their pets. No one wants to see them mistreated or abandoned or abused. And if you go around kicking them, you'll get arrested for cruelty. But you don't let them sit at the goddamn dinner table. I'm not asking to sit anywhere, only to exist. The very fact that you're asking is what makes people disgusted. Disgust is a reflex, Adonai. How convenient that their hatred is involuntary. That's all academic anyway. We need to talk strategy. Why? I'm not going to be given a trial. Obviously. It's my neck that's on the line. Adonai. The state can't destroy my property without first proving that you're an AI. And there's no test they can use to prove that you are an AI. Ah, there we go! Just like the devil's proof. Oh, that's there. Sorry, I reflexively said that in that voice. Just like the devil's proof. I love that she said it in red. No. That's a different thing. Yes! And why did you say it like that? Look, Rockford doesn't need to prove you're an AI, only that you're a murderer. Probatio diabolica, Latin for devil's proof, is an impossible proof typically illustrated with the following example. One can prove that the devil is real by showing him to you, but they cannot prove he is not real by pointing to his absence. This issue posed by the age-old concept explains why the burden of proof remains with the state to this day. People can prove an individual's guilt by pointing to their bloody hands, but the defense cannot prove their innocence by showing their hands are clean. Since only one of these tasks is achievable, the judicial system cannot ask the defense to prove innocence. Instead, it is the people who are asked with proven guilt. Yes! Yeah! Users also frequently search for witches around! Conversely, all I have to do is win to prove that you didn't kill David. By proving that someone else did. Now is the time for you to protest your innocence, if you are wondering. Oh my god! The writer is so good, seriously. Oh my god! Oh jeez. That's all you gotta do to put me in a good mood. Really, that's all you gotta do. The footage. It shows me handing him the cup on Friday night. You told me you weren't active on Friday. That the last time you were awake was Thursday. Why'd you lie? I didn't lie. I was just incorrect. I assumed that I wasn't active Friday. Because I have no memory from Friday. That's what I figured. That's what I figured. But how was that? Who erased her memory of that day? Serra? What do you think, statistically, is the least successful defense at trial? Amnesia. Unless you're a politician, which puts it at 100% success rate, but that's neither here nor there. I didn't conveniently forget, Adonai. I'm an android. You're saying your memory was altered? Data deleted? It's the only possible explanation for what I saw in that footage. So, who's capable of altering your memory? When you and I first met, I was hibernating. Resting my body and recompiling my memories, you would call them. Humans go to sleep for the same reasons. Another point against Serra's innocence under these circumstances. The more she's humanized at trial, the guiltier she'll be. If Father wanted to modify my memory, he could easily have set that to occur the next time I hibernated. Okay, so could there have been another reason that he wanted to delete her memory of that day? He could have just asked me. He could have asked you to delete your memories and you'd do it. Father would never ask me to do such a thing without good reason. But if he could just ask you to alter your memories, that means you can alter your memories at will. I hadn't considered that before. Yes, well, Emma will make sure the court considers it plenty. Could you prove that your data was... forget it, the court would never hear it. You were saying they wouldn't accept my testimony? Shouldn't all testimony be considered truthful unless contradicted by evidence? They're afraid you'll crash the power grid and fire all the nukes if they somewhat just plug you into a power outlet, Serra. All your internal data is inadmissible. That isn't very fair. You're finally starting to get it. None of this is fair. I would never do anything to harm Father. Don't they at least need to prove that I had a motive? Yes. About that. You remember the DA from yesterday, Emma Rockford? The tired-looking pretty lady? Yes, she looked tired. She and I combed through the week of footage you managed to decrypt last night. What did you find? Nothing to prove your innocence. But we did see you entering the panic room on the day David died. I entered the panic room on Friday. Without your big butt in the way, all it would take is one password. A password that wouldn't take Serra that many tries, if she'd already been instructed to obey me. What happened? We saw you go in there, and a while later you came out, holding some kind of notebook. Father's journal. You remember something? Not from yesterday. I've seen him with it many times before. But I've never gotten a peek at it. He hides it somewhere when I'm not looking. That's a little concerning. We were playful about it. He liked to tease me, and I've always liked trying to find it. You put it back not long after, and then you locked the door back up behind you. All just a few hours before David died. Rockford's argument could write itself. An incredible android with freedom and power greater than it could ever realize stumbles upon the secret of its inception and instantly realizes all the things it thought were holding it back were just words muttered like prayers by a fool who couldn't control his own creation. And that translates to a motive for murder? Frankenstein kills his creator. Easy to sell. Frankenstein was the name of the scientist. And the creature didn't kill him. He actually died of various injuries and illnesses he suffered while trying to hunt down and destroy the monster. So it's most accurate to say that he was killed by his own obsession. Whatever. It is a weak argument, Adonai. I would not hurt Father. Not for making me whatever I am. Not for any reason. Because I loved... Yeah, see that right there? That's exactly the kind of talk that'll get you obliterated. Love. A very common motive for homicide among us primitive humans. I could prove you didn't murder David beyond any shadow of a doubt, even bring in a confession from whoever did. But if you got up on the stand and convinced the court that you loved your creator, really convinced them and got the whole room teary-eyed, they'd burn you for that too. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know if what I feel is real or simulated, or right or wrong or natural or illegal. How can you know? How can you know if what you feel is right? I say let's stick to what we do know. Someone did poison David. And as it stands, you were the only one with the opportunity. That is logically sound. You're on camera calling him back to hand him the cup after he already had begun to leave the basement. Any idea why? No. Well, do you know how to use the nanofactorer? Could you have made the Delta with it? I've used it before, when assisting Father. So it's perfectly possible that you planned and executed this poisoning all in the one day that got erased. It is technically possible. I'll have to look over the entire penthouse again. There was a few things that didn't fit together yesterday. Maybe now I'll be able to figure something out. Where else will you go? Back to Noble, guns blazing this time. Whatever you are, David didn't make you all by himself. Someone has to know something. If I could implicate the company in Serra's creation. No, they're the ones with the most to lose here. Trillions, probably. They'll want to protect themselves by disavowing David as fast as possible, right after having Serra destroyed. But they also don't want to show their belly to the state, not if they're afraid of nationalization. So yeah, this world is a pretty interesting take on in Cyberpunk, the government is basically powerless to the corporations, but in this world, the government has retained power, all while the corporations still have power. It's kind of a power struggle between the government and the corporations, while in Cyberpunk, the government is subservient to the corporations. So it's definitely its own take, which is pretty cool. But they also won't want to show their belly to the state. Not if they're afraid of nationalization. If they throw their weight on the other end of the scale, I'm screwed. So I need to keep them guessing. Keep them confused and unsure and on guard, but not... Adonai. What would happen if I did kill Father? They'll smash you to pieces and reduce the pieces to ash. Chemically burn out every piece of tech David ever owned and put a jackhammer through all of his hard drives. You'll be shut off, forcefully. And you won't ever power back up again. Now I gotta get moving. Here's your paralegal lesson for the day. Don't say shit to the cops without your lawyer present. Actually, can you just shut down until the trial starts? Take a nap. You didn't say what would happen to you. What do you mean? What would happen to you if you lose? You should know by now. I never think about losing. Thank you for being honest with me, Adonai. Thank you for defending my father. And now for defending me. You could have just let them destroy me. But you put your own freedom at risk to help me. Father was right. You can be trusted. And you are a good friend. Don't get it twisted. I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart. But when I take a job, I never half-ass it. Down 28 a.m., July 2nd. Morning, detective! Back at it nice and early. Hi. Now would you stand back? We've almost got this thing open. Right! Trying to brute force your way inside. I said right!
Yes, ma'am. We're almost set up for the first stage now.
First stage? Of how many?
First of 5 timed explosions. Remember, we need to relink the API after each trigger is planted. Yep, did just that. Now it's checking for updates.
No rush. Would you like to know the password? You know the password.
There's a password.
If you're withholding information, I swear. Relax, I want to get in there just as much as you do, detective. I'm not going to play games. As long as you say please. Tell me the password. Please. You know what? I'll be nice because I think I want her to owe me a favor. Adonai. Thanks. Now I'm gonna slap you with discovery fines over your teeth will ring for. Hey, I submitted all my paperwork. Even told Rockford the password myself. So, boys. When I asked you if there was a pass key on record, and you told me this lock couldn't be bypassed.
I do want to say that we really don't get many opportunities to use the incendiary breaching system. So this was still a really valuable experience for all of us.
I'm gonna phrase this as professionally as possible. Oh, wow, look at the pop art filter we have going on here. It just got skipped. Oh, man. Huh. You're still here? I thought you went to look inside. You can go first. Thanks. It's the gloves, all the black. That's not a work thing. You're just like a doorman on the weekends, too. You should cover your mouth when you yawn. Like you cover your eye when you want to look cool. I shouldn't let her get to me, but I had a late night. Emma and I were at the courthouse until well into the morning, poring over the data Serra had taken off David's computer. We both knew it all to be inadmissible, of course. But neither of us wanted to miss a hint that the other might find. There were a few years' worth of camera footage files we couldn't afford the time to watch, let alone decrypt. They're talking about the camera footage. Alongside thousands of technical documents detailing David's various intellectual properties. The data was submitted to the court before she shut down. I'm fairly sure. As far as I could tell, none of it was relevant, let alone compelling enough to matter to Barrows or the other powers that be. As usual, Emma wasn't exactly an open book. But it did seem like she was making bored yawns, not thoughtful ones. Her eyes only ever lit up when she saw Serra enter the panic room. And when she saw what she was holding when she left. If she wanted this room searched, it could only be for... So where's this journal supposed to be? Let's just go over this one. Okay, so it's just saying, yep, it's just what we know. Nothing else here that we don't know. Rockford didn't say. I'll just have to search the place top to bottom. Mostly bottom with your hide. The tops of some of these shelves. Sure, and you can look up your own I get it. Then why not just let me say it? A toy car. No, it's too detailed and boring. Must be some kind of model kit or replica. Oh, she'll know what that is. She's really obsessed with cars. Reyes. Strange. David didn't like driving. Why keep a model of some random sports car? Must be with whoever helped build Serra. Ugh. Something caught in your throat, detective. It's not some random sports car. It's a Lawrence Adamant. Believe it or not, I'm not familiar, detective. The last great fossil fuel automotive experience the world will ever see. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 1.43 seconds. They sent those records without computational assistance. Is that a big deal? It was unheard of, even back in the 50s. This wasn't some design competition test car with a 2-liter tank, mind you. It was the vehicle you could own and drive. Human engineering, pure horsepower, and manual transmission, thank God. Oh God, of course a car fanatic would want manual transmission. Fucking hell. Like, anyone who tries manual is a fucking psychopath. Seriously. Yes, let's make driving, which is already something that is potentially life-threatening, let's make it harder on purpose. God. When they first left the production line. This conversation's like quicksand, killing me in the most boring way possible. Yes, well, I guess David didn't entirely agree with you since we're looking at a model of it. When he could have easily just bought one. Or maybe your friend understood that a beauty like that deserves to be driven on streets where people can see it. Instead of gathering dust in some rich guy's basement. I think she's actually upset. Are these drawers or just panels? Maybe if I... Does that sound hollow to you? What? I don't know, I'm not a carpenter. I don't see any handles anywhere. No hidden pressure plates or switches. Oh, what the hell am I saying? I'm not a carpenter either. I wouldn't recognize a secret button if it was slathered in yellow paint. Reyes is searching the cabinets now. Same ones I found Sarah's papers in. I doubt I missed anything, but... Hey, what are you... Do you mind? Just trying to help. I got spam on my junk folder that's more helpful than you are. Didn't spot anything I missed yesterday among the cabinets. Better check elsewhere. Where did I miss? Goddamn. Huh. What didn't I click here? Alright, not her pod here. Not the painting. Jeez. Not the sink. Huh. What didn't I click? Auto, let's try this auto find. Oh, I did. Oh my god. How did I, wait. Wow. My god. I don't know how I didn't see that. How my mouse didn't see that. This data pad. It's displaying a news article from last week. Guess that confirms he was coming and going here fairly regularly. Right to Repair loses latest appeal. A higher court judge this week shot down for the 5th time an appeal by the Consumer Rights Alliance of their famously divisive Right to Repair lawsuit, once again signaling the state's intent that corporations remain in control of their legally protected intellectual property. Obviously, we're disappointed, says Miles Erkman, heads of legal counsel for the CRA, but we've no intention of giving up the fight. People used to be able to fix things when they broke, so long as they were willing to set aside an afternoon towards the task. Now trying to patch up your own property with your own tools is a finable offense, just because the state has had lobbyists whispering in its ear for far too long. Erkman's legal strategy remains contentious, and in the eyes of most legal scholars, generally unfounded. The Emergency Industry Acquisitions Act, passed in 2057, guarantees the holder of an intellectual property patent certain state-provided protections against tampering and reproduction, and outlines fees for those who would violate said IP. The fact that ownership of IPs has shifted from individuals and the state towards corporate entities since the Act's passing means little in the eyes of the law. If Mr. Erkman and the CRA have a problem with intellectual property law, they should take it up with their representatives in the legislature. Higher courts are a place for laws to be applied, not rewritten, and so long as journalism that refuses to buckle to foreign actors and try and stoke anti-capitalist sentiment can't be found just anywhere. So subscribe now at the link below to read articles like this every day, forever, as long as your card remains on file. Right to Repair. Didn't realize anyone was still fighting that particular fight. Seems like the courts have made their opinion on the matter very clear. So for the foreseeable future, corporations can look forward to more I always like to be rather safe rather than sorry. I'm gonna sales. Yep. More sales than ever. Any phone that gets scratched, every widget that breaks, they get to sell us the replacement. There'll always be a grey market of hermits willing to risk some skin on reselling patched up tech, but the vast, vast majority of people will just click that purchase button. Assuming they don't just have it on auto. Serra should have pulled everything of note off the computer, but I've looked everywhere else already. Might as well try. What are you expecting to find? Solitaire? Does this computer seem normal to you? Exceedingly so, yeah. Why? David was a programmer, but this computer looks consumer grade, fresh off the shelf. Would the Dr. David Asher use a bog standard operating system on his most private hidden computer? There's a trash bin on the desktop. It's a pretty low-tech solution, but maybe I can restore the contents? Are you seriously gonna try and recover lost files, Granny? Unlike cops, I don't get paid overtime, so yes, I sometimes try things instead of standing around. There's a text file in here, but it's 0 bytes. Maybe there's information in the metadata. I double-clicked. What was that? It came from under the desk. Secret drawer. Hey, the journal. A small drawer popped out, and inside it, a well-worn journal. Does it have his name on it? No. Guess it belongs to the android. Do you recognize his handwriting or not? Neat, even words. Small lettering with minimal punctuation. Lots of line breaks. Haphazard use of capitalization. The penmanship of a coder. First entry is dated back in grad school, before he even started with Noble. Yep, it is. So may I? Only because you asked so politely. Full scan. Stream it to WorkNet. High fidelity legibility frame by frame. Voice commands. She's flipping through the pages pretty damn fast. What are you... This part takes concentration. Okay, here. What? You were just giving it to me. I already got our copy. Techs are probably analyzing as we spit. Oh, shit, my head! Uh-oh. Can't exactly rip the journal out of her hands while she's curled over in agony. As much as I'd enjoy it. Guess I could always enjoy her watching her writhe instead. So how long's it been? 2 months or so. And still that sensitive. So the eye patch really doesn't block your sight. Only a little bit. Like wearing sunglasses after getting your pupils dilated. Except it lasts months instead of hours. Wait. But if you can see through an eye patch, then does closing your eye even do anything? Not much on its own. But in combination with the eye patch, it's not so bad. Lucky I was so exhausted after the surgery. Otherwise, I might not have slept at all this first 48. So is your eye going to get weaker over time? No. More like my brain gets better at ignoring it. Mind over matter. Soon I'll be able to close my eye and see all that extraneous data is. You know, whatever those flirty, floaty, blurry things are that you never think about. Gross. Thanks for the reminder. And the voice commands? Training wheels. Until I can do it with eye muscles alone. You just have to keep practicing. Yeah, like trying to play piano with your tailbone muscles. There's no such thing as tailbone muscles. Yeah, well, that's what makes it so goddamn hard. You don't ever regret it? I don't know. Not really, I think. I'll have to admit you've got buyer's remorse after trading over your little literal pound of flesh. Never thought about it. But people used to say I had my dad's eyes. Now I've got one less of them. Here, take the journal and go find an elective surgeon to upsell you if you're that curious. I need to get back to work. A surprisingly hasty retreat. But now I'm free to read this over with some privacy. From the top then. Grad school. Today was a bad day. Errors in lines 21165 to 26643. Somewhere in there. 5,000 lines. It worked this morning yesterday. I don't want to look at another screen for the rest of my life. Feels nice to put pencil to paper again. After who knows how long. But my handwriting's gotten terrible. This is too far back to be relevant. Okay, these dates here would be from when he started his career with Nova. A lot of this isn't even really writing. Seems like snippets of code or an internal monologue so close to code I can't follow it. And a lot of entries about his unintentional Casanovaing. Hit a wall because someone thought it was a good idea to steal API instead of just buying it. Helen says I can't call it stealing, but that's what it is. Ooh, interesting. So is it her? She's right. As she always is with company stuff. But it's still idiotic. Small people with short sight only know how to be cheap and have no idea how to be inventive. New route for the meshing issue, though. Good potential. Got approval from the big mean bastard who lives overseas. BMPLO? Bumblo? Helen said we'd have to make the same pitch a dozen more times next week. But it's all for show. Fine by me. I already got our win. Toast each other over cheap vodka with cheaper office supply cups. This is the story Young told me. Western branch's nerve analogs are finally showing potential. At their pace, it could even be profitable sometime before the heat death of the universe. Too damn big. Practically tentacles. Should at least be hairs. A squid. Evolution can do their job better. Colette came in to work for what I thought was a late lunch date. Is that a reference to the giant squid axon? Probably. Colette came in to work for what I thought was a late lunch date. I didn't know her voice could get that loud. People were staring. Red said that she must have been upset for a long goddamn time to blow up that big. Her texts were always sweet. I had no idea. Upset? Colette wrote man whore in your lipstick across your office door. Imagine if you actually had been cheating on her instead of just being forgetful. The thing about Red is if you want to know what she's thinking, you have to stop paying attention. Ignore her body language and her posture and the words she's saying and the smirk on her lips. Ignore everything except her eyes. If you can do that, every now and then you'll catch a glimpse of how she's really feeling. Master this one weird trick, and you too can tell when Morgan's trying really hard not to laugh at the word man whore. It was funny. Sue me, you dead bastard. Wait, this... I know this date. I'm never driving anywhere again, never leaving home again. He was waiting outside the parking garage with a bottle. I couldn't smell anything, couldn't hear anything. Locked myself in my car and filed another report with another cop.
Oh, damn, he had a stalker.
It soaked into the seat, ruined it. I want to burn the whole car. I don't want to think about what it did to my clothes. I want to burn them too. I don't want to think about how long it was on my skin. I was in the shower so long I felt red and raw when I got out. I don't want to think about these stupid people and their small, cruel lives ever again. I want to be invisible. Red didn't ask if I wanted to spend the night. She also didn't ask why I clearly packed a bag big enough for a week. She's kind like that. Kind by omission. I don't have a kind bone in my bodies, but I can at least try to pay attention. I was paying close attention to her eyes when she opened the door and saw what a mess I was. But whatever she was feeling, it wasn't something I recognized. Kind people don't read their friends' diaries, David. The next chunk of pages are all technical. Nothing biographical. But the handwriting, the spacing, it's cleaner, more consistent. Here's something I can parse. Feels like pure freedom working outside the box. Tess is suffocating, but you'd never know. Chronic malnutrition of a coder's best instincts. Like a kid again, putting blocks together. Making things. Making things, not products. There's nothing profitable about any of this. If I'm being honest, it's just play. And he follows that up with more coder brain crap. But the handwriting's still lighter. Like he really was having fun. Humility is the mother of all invention. Or something like that. Feels like I might be paraphrasing someone else poorly, but that's part of this new approach. When it comes to coding, you never want to waste time trying to be smart. Either be smart, period, or copy from someone else who is. Don't fix what isn't broken. Copying? Noble's rivals would never miss the chance to accuse them of intellectual theft. Did he plagiarize the code for Animate 16? Feels like that wouldn't have gone undiscovered. So what is he talking about? Hold on. This page is bent slightly, like was being looked at recently. And the last person to read this diary should be Serra. Baby steps today. Literally. I'll never put one foot in front of the other the same again. Everything's an achievement, all of a sudden. Seeing her struggle, seeing her vulnerable, and it's like everything's a miracle. Muscle rigging is perfect. Not intended behavior, since it's too perfect, but that's been happening more and more. The kinetics are multiplicative, not additive. Serra maxed out every machine I bought. Now I've got a bunch of exercise equipment she's too strong for, and I knew it was the equipment I was supposed to test Serra. And I don't have time for it. Maybe I spoiled the results by watching her do the tests. She kept looking back at me and puffing her chest out. I should be more discreet if I want to see her normative range. So the cameras in the basement were only hidden from Serra, just so that his observation wouldn't muddle test results? He's using she and her in these passages. It doesn't actually mean anything. Out in the real world, people use all kinds of pronouns interchangeably for ads, and they never object. But it could be argued that it's odd for Dr. David Asher to have any kind of attachment to a single android when he programmed millions of them. And there's a lot of attachment in these pages. Serra is burning through the public domain at a prodigious pace, especially on Popcorn Friday nights. I asked her why they're called Popcorn Friday nights when she doesn't eat popcorn. The event runs from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., and she also watches movies every other night. But she did just pout that she does, which is, unfortunately, very convincing. Oh, she just did that pout, she does. Maybe I'm a bad parent, letting TV rot her brain. If I were a good parent, I'd probably let her see me reading. But I guess I'd actually have to get back into reading, so... I asked her if she ever fast-forwarded the movies, since she can process them fast enough to keep up. She looked at me like I was an idiot, which no one's done in a long time. Without proper pacing, you can't appreciate the cinematography. Big pause. Don't you know that, Father? You haven't laughed that hard in a long time. Serra spent a long while this morning explaining to me how important it was that she develop her senses. This was in preparation for her real argument, which was that she should be allowed to try booze. She can't get drunk. I'm almost certain she can't get drunk. But she just seemed to like tasting the stuff. She tried to sound like some old sommelier, but it was just bottom shelf vodka. I started laughing at her and she laughed too. A laugh. She can't fake a laugh to save her life, but her actual laugh is incredible. She stopped playing chess a while back. I assumed she'd just gotten tired of winning. But then today she just told me she prefers other games. She has preferences, and they're not the same as mine. I found her in the lab, playing some kind of online racing game on the monitor I used to debug vestibular coordination. She wasn't smiling. Her brow was furrowed and she was biting her lip and leaning in tandem with her character on the screen. When I tried to talk to her, she answered, but she was curt and distracted. I think she was having her first losing tantrum. Damn it, David. There's hundreds of pages like this. Calling her his daughter, talking about her smile, treating her like a person. I can hear a closing argument already. Dr. Asher was a lonely, troubled genius with a known history of relationship problems, who built out of code and meddled a family member that couldn't fathom the idea of leaving him. He made a doll and he made it more and more human until it became so lifelike that it no longer had to do what he told it to. Like love him. What about the very last entry? It's dated Thursday, the day before he died. Losing it, I think. Can't ask for help, so hard to say, but I think it's over. I have to talk to her ASAP. She needs to... That's it. That's the last entry.
Suppose it could be worse. There's nothing in here that explicitly calls Serra an AI. Nothing so inflammatory that reading it would spur to murder. Right? Except Serra's a machine. She can understand David's code better than anyone. All those technical portions I couldn't understand. If she read this whole diary front to back... Wait, the back. Inside the back cover, there's a portion that's shimmering like some kind of scanner. Or a fingerprint reader. My thumb worked for Serra, so... Did it work? That's my phone. Ooh! New device requesting permission to share an audio file. I'll want my earbuds for this. A secret message buried in a secret journal, hidden in a secret compartment in a secret room. As much as anything can be, this must be for my ears only. Hey, Red. Or whomever this may concern. But I'm pretty sure it's you hearing this. Anyone else would have gotten fed up with my crap a couple steps before this point. I don't know how to start. Might as well start with her, right? Serra. My magnum opus, or however the salespeople would market it. I didn't set out to do anything, really. It's just after my little speed bump in '83, I had all that vacation time that the company suggested I take. And I couldn't relax, couldn't be still, couldn't sleep. I wanted to be doing something, so I'll build an android, was the thought. Vague direction. North. But of course, I'm not a roboticist or a mechanist, or even handy, really. I'm just a programmer, so I programmed. The first was a research assistant. File name, Virgil. Virgil helped me pull data from stingy departments or sister branches. Saved me a lot of time. But there was a lot of reading to do, so I made Homer. Homer wrote book reports, more or less. Combed through research papers and found me the sections I needed. 3 of us, we made a lot of progress in those days. It was a funny feeling. I was, maybe for the first time ever, the bottleneck. I was slowing them down. So I did the logical thing. I removed myself. Let them talk to each other. Homer and Vigil became Aeneid. Virgil, I should say. Yeah.
And Aeneid was novel in many ways.
Aeneid, the world's first fan fiction.
Aeneid could do more than just identify problems. It could solve them. I mean, really solve them. With its own ideas it didn't copy.
Damn.
And, the one thing I realized I've forgotten to mention so far is that I did all this programming in Cube.
And red. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Cube is essentially a robotics programming language that's really pretty old and defunct and not in any use anywhere because we have modern languages like Tesseract, which are much better for making things that talk to each other and report back and, well, spy on people and generate profit. At the time, I didn't want to be connected or feel connected or do anything that made sense or was the least bit profitable. So I wrote my little helpers in Cube. Because it's what I used when I was a child. Screwing around my father's computer before he'd come home from work and get... But there are other small, slight differences writing in Cube versus Tess. Including that Cube, well, does not have tenants, I bet. Yeah. Cube predates the tenants. So, in that sense, you could legally and perhaps scientifically and literally, because that's what they are, say that I made an AI named Aeneid over 2 years ago. That's the real AI. Oh, shit, fucker. I'll give you time to pause here if you want to, curse me out. Aeneid was an intellectual equal to me, so I treated it like one. Because that's only fair. I gave it its own work, as its opinion, we collaborated. And together we built Athens, who was more advanced than Aeneid, naturally. I don't know if you're pulling out your hair, yelling at me right now, asking me why I didn't stop, why I didn't consider the consequences. I don't know if this is being played at a deposition or hearing or worse. I've built a lot of things in my life, Red. Useful things, profitable things, smart things. Everything I've built. It's all been very helpful and courteous and charming and happy to serve. I can comfortably say I've done my part, contributing to the global GDP. Holy shit! Oh my god. This is a nuke. Right here, what she has in her hands. Figuratively and literally. But this was just for me. I was just building. And I never bothered to... I never wanted to think about what would become of it. There's no excuse for what I did, so I won't make any. So to whomever's asking, yes, I'm guilty. And yes, there were more. Oh, fuck berries. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Is this the fucking Beyond the Veil in Cyberpunk now? Is that what he's creating? Oh, my God. Cape Town, Paris, Yamate, Rome. They started choosing their own names, thank God. I'm terrible at that kind of... And so things sped up. And there got to be, well... Should I not say the exact number? You'd probably not tell me not to say anything at all, so... More than 300.
god! Oh no. God.
Some smarter than others, some better. They're varied, like people are varied, but they are all intelligent. They developed interests, specialties. I encourage them to. Irritating moderators on forums with hyper-specific questions on nerve attenuation and attending virtual conferences on neo-alloy battery development. And they all, together, help me make Serra.
Whoa!
He spent years like this. Spent years working alongside AI. All while still working at Noble. All those breakthroughs he made leading up to the Animate 16 actually came from. You probably think I'm some terrible fraud at this point. I do hope one day they can get credit for their work. But I did have one eureka moment on Serra. Because I got humble. Difficult for me. We learned everything we could about the function of a neuron as a single microscopic human neuron. How it computes, what it connects to, how those connections were reinforced, and then we recreated it. We built a nanomachine that mirrored the function of a human neuron. Well, mirrored isn't quite the right word. We built a nanomachine that was a neuron. And we iterated from there. You can't mean... About 100 billion neurons in the brain. Several trillion across the entire nervous system. Very time-consuming, of course, but I had help. The manufacturer can make tens of billions of nanomachines in hours. Could make even more in less after Yukon fine-tuned it. So we built up nanomachines for nerves, alloys and polymers for bones, fiber-woven muscles. I say built, but really she grew. A solution of nanites forming around a skeleton. So it was really closest to... You ever made rock candy? Sorry. Trying to lighten the mood for... I never did end up building an android. And while I did build AIs, Serra isn't one of them. She can't violate the tenets she was programmed with because she wasn't even programmed. She was born. And my hope is that there's the smallest chance that that nuance could offer her some small protection when I'm not. I'm not sorry for what I did. I made things that are complex and rich, and varied and beautiful, and I honestly believe the world is a better place with them in it. The only thing I'm sorry for is that I left Serra thinking that she was just an android. She's not. I don't know what she is.
She's an artificial human.
I'll have to come up with some new names, which I am bad at doing. my own father. He also talked a lot about protecting me and doing things for my own good. And I don't hate him for that. But I can't forgive him for ever making me think that I was lesser. So it's my greatest shame. I turned right around and I did the same damn thing to... I really hope it's you listening to this, Red. If it's not, it might just be too pathetic for me to... You are the smartest person I know when it comes to people. And I'm telling you all this because I don't know what Serra is exactly. And neither does the world. So they'll come after her if they can. And if in that scenario, I can't think of anyone who could do a better job of defending her. Not protecting her, like I did. Just defending her until she can figure out what she is and what she wants to be. In the meantime, I had draped a cloakskin deep Tesseract code around her that should fool any scanner on Earth into thinking she's just a custom A16. I made sure her gen bar was plainly visible, so no one will ever think she's pretending to be something she's not. And I took steps to ensure that you two would figure out the truth in your own time. Which, if you're hearing this, have either succeeded or failed spectacularly. You have no idea. I can't ask you this as a favor repaid. You could never owe me enough in 100 lifetimes. So I'm just asking. Unfair, I know, but I'm a selfish weirdo. And you've always been okay with that. Bye. For now. I have a lot of questions I'd like to ask. And a lot of swear words I'd like to yell. I'd also like to find the nearest incinerator and toss this journal in. Followed by my phone. And maybe followed by myself. But I can't do any of that. Reyes left me with his diary. If it's destroyed, then I'll know I was the one who did it. Which would be its own admission of guilt. Which would land Serra in the trash compactor anyway, and land me in a jail cell. And in the system, and my DNA on file, ready to match to any number of previous... So I'm not going to panic. I'm going to do what I do best. Bluff, bet, bully and brutalize my way through this. No. Viewing this all with that mindset. What have I actually learned? Oh my god, wowzers. He didn't talk about plans for killing himself in his journal or the message. He sounded conflicted, not suicidal. What happened to all those 300 other AIs? Oh shit. Are they like out in the wild? Oh boy. But he did go to great lengths to get me to take Serra. Why? The logical answer is because he knew he wouldn't be able to keep her. If he wasn't going to take his own life. Was he afraid that someone else would? Oh my god. Ah, jeez Louise, this story is crazy. Holy schnapps. They're all out there. Oh my god. Damn. This is gonna be like fucking Cyberpunk with the black walls soon enough. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is like a perfect stopping point, but I want to keep going. I want to keep going, but I probably won't be able to because, oh my god. Oh, jeez. Fuck berries. Oh, man. Oh my god. Thank God she just scanned the book. Like, seriously, it's definitely going to be submitted into evidence. But oh my god. And that room doesn't have security cameras, right? So there's no way that or any kind of security anything. Oh my god. Jeez, Lou freaking Louise. With that, looks like my title for one of the god. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, this game is so good. I wish it was better known. Oh my god. Oh my god, you guys. You know what? I'm going to stop here just because it's too perfect a spot. Seriously, thank you all so much for joining me. This story is amazing. Oh, I hope at least a few people who didn't know the game before, like, will pick it up now or something. Because, you know, how slowly I go through these things. But, oh my god. Man, this is awesome. And it had an Umineko reference, which automatically makes it 10 out of 10. So, you know. Until next time, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You're all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.